You said that initially you had no language at all. You couldn't speak at all, could you?
That's right. This is the most I've ever spoken now since I had the stroke.
Did you used to get frustrated because you couldn't talk?
I'd like to say no, but I probably would not being 100% honest. I wouldn't know what to say, and I'd end up. I wouldn't say screaming or shouting, but I would go. It wouldn't really coming out how I wanted to say it.
Mm.
As the process has gone on, my speech has become a lot clearer.
Mm.
And it's getting better.
Do people give you time to talk?
Yes, a lot of times I've got to explain to them on the phone, I've had a stroke, and that's all right. It's an ongoing process. We're improving a lot all the time.
Mm.
I was never a great speller, but now I lose the ability to think about the right letters when I'm trying to form an email and stuff, and because everybody's doing everything, sending text and stuff. I find it. I'd rather pick up a phone because I find writing things takes me an age.
Yeah. And I was emailed a form to fill in for ill health retirement, and I've opened the form up, looked at it and closed it down again because it's too much for me to think about filling the form in.
Yeah, luckily my wife fills more my forms in, and then...
Well, I live on my own, so I do find things like that more of a struggle.
Yeah.
And in my response to that was I emailed and said, look, I think I need some help with this.
I don't read very well. Or usually on the first word of the sentence, of a line, I think it's missing, just on the left. So I keep seeing typos as if somebody hasn't read the manuscript properly and left words out.
What, words or letters?
Words at the beginning of a line.
Since the stroke, I can't read. I can't make sense of words.
Really?
I know the letters, but not the words. Even if the words are simple and you know what they are, by the time you've done the first two words, the sentence is gone. So it is very difficult, and it's soul destroying because you think, well, I'm enjoying this. Oh well. It's gone. Yeah, it's gone. And you sort of lose the flow, and I find that's when you suddenly things start to go downhill.
Memory. What's your memory like these days?
Absolutely dreadful.
Dreadful, is it?
I could tell you exactly what happened 10, 20 years ago, but what we did 2 minutes ago,
So short-term memory. You're not dealing with short-term memory.
No.
How do you cope with that then?
With great difficulty.
Really?
Yeah, that's the
Write
worst.
everything down.
Well, yeah, but because I had the stroke on my right-hand side,
and you were right-handed.
and I was right-handed. I can write, but very badly, and nothing is in a straight line. It tips down, and with the spelling, I was never great at spelling before I had the stroke. Now I've got absolutely no chance at all.
Yeah.
And that's where you do find it really difficult.
Yeah.
And also my numeracy is poor. I can't keep dates in my mind. Anything to do with numbers I'm very, very poor on. And I didn't used to be.
I have missed a few doctor's appointments because I've just totally forgotten about them.
Right.
But it's like a computer, and you know when you get a bug in your computer and it's not running smoothly and that's what happens in your brain, is like little interruptions.
Yeah.
I had a problem with my recall and recognition memory, but I feel so much better about it now because I know that I've got a problem and I'm not just making it up, which is what I thought before. And just little things like, obviously because I'm taking tablets now after the stroke and things like that, I couldn't remember if I'd taken my tablets or if I hadn't taken them.
One of the problems with my stroke has been my short-term memory. My long-term memory is quite good. I can remember password from bank accounts from 4 or 5 years ago with no problem. But it's just the short-term things. Often I let my little dog out and I forget that she's outside.
Are there any other aspects of your memory that's been affected?
And when I'm in a conversation with somebody, I've got to get my word in first while I remember it.
Yeah.
And sometimes that might be a bit frustrating for them because they don't finish and I'm already talking to them.
If somebody interrupts you when you're talking, do you then forget what you were going to say?
Yeah, possibly, yes, a little bit. But I think that those closest to me have adapted to that.
I found that quite important, is that, and I'm better now, but initially, as you said, I had to be allowed time to finish saying what I wanted to say, because if I was interrupted, I'd have forgotten it. I am better now. And the same sort of thing, you know, there's conversations going on and you think of something to say, but there's not the chance to say it. And then it's moved on and then you've forgotten what you were going to say anyway.
In a conversation, I lose the thread of what they're talking about, and I think, I'm not thinking of anything, but I've still don't remember what they're saying.
Do you switch off as well?
Yeah, it's a bit like switching off. I find it hard to listen intently or
for long periods of time.
Yeah, it's almost like my brain switching on and off often, so I can keep track of things to a certain extent.
Yeah.
But I can't, like when I have a room full of people, I get very
distracted.
Yeah, because I hear lots of voices and hear lots of bits of conversations, and then I forget who I'm actually talking to.
Yeah.
And so it's a bit sort of it's a bit stressful. Yeah, it's especially I noticed that with my wife is because I know her so well, I do it worse with her because I think I can sort of keep track of a conversation that we're having. Coming to terms that I have to do now is give her my full attention and really concentrate.
I can't cope with having loads and loads of people around me and lots of noise and lots of, especially background noise. I find it distracting because I don't know if you're the same, but I need to concentrate and I need quiet to concentrate. So when there's lots of background noise or other things going on, especially if you're out with friends and there's conversations going on and there's lots of background noise, I find that I can't think what to say.
No, I get exactly the same problem. You can't concentrate on one person.
No.
You've got all these other noises going along.
And you're distracted and you can't get a grasp of the conversation.
No, you can't shut out that other noise, can you? And just concentrate on one person.
Oh, you'll get that as well.
Oh, yeah.
But do you find it difficult to concentrate?
Yes, yeah.
Can you read? What about reading books?
No, can't read a book. I've tried many times. Tried reading books. Tried reading off an iPad. Or read off the phone. But no, I can't get beyond like two chapters.
And then you forget what you've read.
Yeah, and you sort of read a chapter, then you read the same chapter, then you read the same chapter. Well, what was that chapter about? So you just give up. But newspapers, magazines, shorts.
Yeah, I find the same thing. But I find that I repeat myself a lot, I've been told.
You said that earlier.
But, and because I got problems with my recall and my recollection memory, I'm not aware I'm repeating myself and saying the same thing again. And the advice I was given is that, is coping with the problems that I've got now. So instead of, if you said to me something now, and then later on you'd said to me, oh, I just told you that, and I'd say, no, you didn't, yes, you did, no, you didn't, yes, you did. So now I've just decided, I've told all my close friends and family, if you said something to me and I can't remember it, I'll just say, well, you may have told me that, but I'm sorry, I can't remember that. So you don't get into that, you did, I didn't.
Yeah.
Type of thing.
Yes, well, I get up in the morning and the first thing I do is look at my diary. See what's happening that day.
Yeah.
Chris now has to plan things more.
Yeah.
She can't cope with things that suddenly happen, because for Chris now it takes her a lot longer to get herself organised for the day. She's very much slower at things where she was very quick. She gets really frustrated about not being able to multitask.
Yeah.
And she gets really frustrated about, again, like Andy, not being able to do the things that she used to be able to do, like so.
Yes.
I used to be really frustrated at that. I'm learning now that actually chill about this now, because that's as it is.
Yeah, the thing that I struggle sometimes with is the memory loss. He remembers what he did 25 years ago, but he doesn't remember what we did 5 minutes ago. He doesn't recall telephone calls. He doesn't recall things that I've said maybe 2 or 3 days beforehand. He doesn't remember that. I find that sometimes quite upsetting.
Chris the same with the memory, and sometimes I found that I was getting really frustrated because I didn't really understand.
Phones these days are so easy, so I tend to put everything down I can. I'm very fortunate. I got a wife who's retired as well, so she's there to prompt me if I need to be prompted. Also in the kitchen we've got a calendar on the wall, and if I didn't remember to put something in my phone, then I just go up to this calendar and everything is there for us. So although I feel my memory is not good, I'm certainly managing to cope with it.
But do you know what I try and do? I try and laugh about things like that now.
Yeah.
Whereas I used to beat myself up.
Yeah.
Now I laugh about it.
And there are all kinds of strategies I've been using to help with my memory.
Like what?
Well, we've got a whiteboard in the kitchen, and my wife she puts my appointments down on there, and I have to write as well myself.
I used to keep all of it in my head, and now I can't remember any of it.
Yeah.
And so my wife tries to get me to do what she does of writing lists, but for me that's alien. But it's taken me 4 years of quite a lot of heartache, really, that I've got to change, and life isn't going to get any better if I don't change.
Yeah.